Hi, I'm Ariel from the Wadsworth Public Library. Today, I've got a handful of excellent recent novels by Black female authors for you to put on your must-read lists. The first is Queenie by Candace Carty-Williams. This is the author's debut novel, and this book is so lovable because the title character is. Queenie is funny, flawed, and relatable, and you can't help rooting for her as she navigates a relationship she doesn't want to let go of, plus some bad choices and a past she has to come to terms with before she can move forward. Queenie is a 25-year-old Jamaican British journalist who's easily compared to Bridget Jones for having a messy love life, talking about it candidly, struggling in her career, and longing to do meaningful things. And while Bridget and Queenie both live in London, there are absolutely some notable differences. Queenie is a black woman among white colleagues trying to find her place, and due to a combination of several awful problems, not all of her own making, she kind of has been led to the brink. And while she retains this sort of self-deprecating humor throughout, the book ends up being less rom-com than you might expect and dealing with some real raw issues. You can check out Queenie as an audiobook here at Wadsworth Public Library or order a print copy through Search Ohio. The ebook is available from the Ohio Digital Library using the Overdrive or Libby app. My Sister the Serial Killer is Oyinka Braithwaite's debut novel. I love this book in part because it's so readable. It just flows so well. Many of the people I've talked to think at first this book is a memoir, maybe because the title is so direct. This book is very much fiction, though. Braithwaite's book is darkly comedic, and the straightforward title has something to do with that. It's a book about sisters. Ayoola has a habit of flippantly murdering her boyfriends, while Korede assumes responsibility for the cleanup, but grudgingly. It's definitely worth mentioning that beauty equals privilege equals total babe who gets whatever she wants in Ayoola's case, while Korede is the homely, kind of grouchy sister you're likely to root for. The sisters have a complicated relationship, and the book may be more about untangling their bonds than murder, especially as a heart-wrenching love triangle forms. Yet, the plot does center around murder, and the sisters' behavior in the aftermath reveals everything about their individual characters. The story takes place in Lagos, Nigeria, where the author, who is Nigerian-British, spent a portion of her childhood. This debut novel has been translated into 30 languages and optioned for film. You can find My Sister the Serial Killer here at Wadsworth Public Library or read the ebook using Overdrive or Libby by checking it out from the Ohio Digital Library. Next, I want to tell you about a debut novel by Ghanaian author Peace Ajo Medea. It's called His Only Wife. I could not put this book down. The premise sounds like a wild romance novel to me. Smart, pretty Affie is married off to a rich man she barely knows. He doesn't even show up to the marriage ceremony because he's off on a business trip, and she's carted off from her provincial hometown to the big city to wait for her so-called husband to come around. Set in modern-day Ghana, as Affie learns to navigate her new environment, she also has to bear the weight of familial expectations and cultural traditional ways or face the consequences. Affie is admirable in the way she handles all the things and fights for what she wants and believes she deserves, especially in her marriage and her career. His Only Wife has been called a feminist Cinderella story. It's one of those books I knew I'd finish way before I was ready. I just didn't want it to end. I read the ebook of His Only Wife using the Hoopla app. The audiobook is also available on Hoopla, both with no wait using your Wadsworth Public Library card. You can also order a print copy through Search Ohio by visiting Wadsworth Public Library. Speaking of romance, I recently discovered New Yorker Alyssa Cole's romance novels. What variety? She's written a post-apocalyptic romance trilogy, a Civil War-era romance trilogy, and most recently, several books about contemporary royals. The latest is How to Catch a Queen, about Prince Sanu, who is plagued by insecurity as he's supposed to be stepping into the throne of Jazan as his father is dying, but he finds he's also supposed to marry quickly due to some interesting marriage customs in his kingdom. So his advisors find this great bride on royalmatch.com. Shanti is supposed to be this throwaway bride for him. After a 4-month trial, she's going to be out of there. Everyone assumes. That's the way his dad did things. But hey, we'll see. She's pretty great, and things get steamy between husband and wife. The second book in the series is expected out this spring. Also, if you love Alyssa Cole, you'll want to check out When No One Is Watching, a psychological thriller that came out in 2020. We've got it in our mystery section at Wadsworth Public Library. You can order a print copy of How to Catch a Queen from Search Ohio. You'll also find both titles and others by Alyssa Cole on Overdrive and Libby in ebook form. The last book in this chat is actually not a novel, but it is brimming with novelists. Well Read Black Girl is a 2018 anthology by Glory Edom, subtitled Finding Our Stories, Discovering Ourselves. Besides being the book's title, Well Read Black Girl is also the name of a monthly book club founded by Edom, or more like a network of book clubs for empowering the narratives of Black women, and really a community and more, including an annual literary festival. The aim of Well Read Black Girl is to amplify the voices of Black writers and celebrate their achievements in the literary world. This book came together when Edom asked Black women authors when they first saw themselves in literature, and the essays in the book are their answers. I love this idea of looking back and discussing that aha moment of realizing someone else is writing about your experience. The contributors include Tayeri Jones, Jacqueline Woodson, Gabourey Sidibe, N.K. Jemisin, Caitlin Greenidge, and a number of other prolific voices. One of my favorite essays in the book is Greenidge's Books for a Black Girl's Soul. She's the author of We Love You, Charlie Freeman, and her essay is funny, friendly, and irreverent, and I searched nearly all of the books that she listed as ones that impacted her at various times in her life. Ones I put on my to-read list are American Cocktail, Anita Reynolds' 2004 memoir about family members passing as white. Also, Black by Design by Pauline Black, about a biracial British woman adopted by white parents. And Bling by Erica Kennedy, which she lists as a book to read when you want to pack it all in and be Missy Elliott. Actually, I just finished that one. I would recommend Well Read Black Girl to anyone who cares about reading or writing. You'll encounter stories of Black women finding strength and power despite outside forces pushing them down. This book is so inspirational. You can check out Well Read Black Girl in ebook and audiobook form through the Ohio Digital Library using the Overdrive or Libby app, or order a print copy through Search Ohio from the Wadsworth Public Library.